All right, guys, I'm Clint. I'm the owner of Warhorse Inc. And first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for coming out and supporting Steve in this endeavor. This is our second year doing this. The painting in the dark it was successful last year. It seems to be successful again this year, and we're happy to have you all here. Steve's been with us about 3 years now, and I can't say enough good things about Steve. He's, aside from being an incredible artist, he's just been a really good role model and an example for our younger artists. He's always eager to help everybody learn, and he's always there to help people, not with just their art, but with their careers and the things that go along with scheduling and saving money and things like that. So Steve's been a really good life coach for a lot of the younger artists coming on board too. So in many ways, he's been an asset to this company, and I can't thank him enough for that. So when Steve wanted to do this last year, and he brought it up again this year, it was a no-brainer for me. A little bit about myself. When I was younger, I was in the Army, and during my time in the military, I spent quite a bit of time in the Middle East during the height of the global war on terrorism. When I came back from the war, I myself struggled with some mental health issues. I struggled with post-traumatic stress for quite a while, and I found a lot of release through artistic expression. So this kind of touches me in a way, because I firsthand know the effect that artistic expression, tattooing, and the ability to create, and how much of a release and able, the capability of relief that can bring one person's mind and soul. So when Steve brought this up to me, it was a no-brainer. So I was like, hell yeah, let's get this done. So, tonight's message is to let people know that there's always an out, that there's always I'll let Steve talk more about it, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Karen.
Thank you all for showing up here tonight for my second Painting in the Dark art show. I'm very honored and privileged for everyone to be here tonight, and also to care about better mental health. So at this point, you've seen the artwork, you read a little bit about the story, and you probably have an understanding what tonight's purpose is. And I'm celebrating my 1 year removal from a depression that crippled me internally and lifted last July 2024 in a depression, and the depression lasted for about 1.5 years. Last year, a lot of us gathered here to celebrate that time, and I wanted to do that with an art show, with a book, a self-help book, an art book, a story book, and just talk about the darkness and what had happened. And during that time, I received a couple of messages, and the first one is there is always a way out, and to check on your friends because we are all connected. Last year I also said that if my darkness can help anyone get through their darkness, their dark times, their dark caverns, then it's totally worth it. It's not great, but it's a human being thing. I can't explain it other than going through something you want to help others. So it's a message I believe in. It's a torch that I carry. It's a banner that I personally wave, because I believe that we're a human chain connected to each other, pulling each other back into more light. So this year's title is called The Comeback, because I'm standing here before you. It's called The Comeback because I decided to fight back and fight through the darkness. And I'm here to say it is possible to win. It is possible to have more light and less dark. So the comeback is about fighting daily life, fighting for daily life, fighting to live daily for me. And these 13 paintings tell that story. To tell you where the story starts, between 2018 to 2022, I experienced very traumatic life events that, like I said, brought me to a very depressive, dark state, and I unknowingly slipped into that depression, like a slow boil, or you heard about like the frog in a boiling water. It just slowly crept up. Thankfully, I slowly got out of it. The weight was too great to where I thought at one point, is this it? And I quickly said no, and I got to work. And I used art as therapy, and art is my weapon to get through the dark times. After the depression was lifted in July last year, I wanted to make a big deal about it because I felt hit so hard from life. I wanted to make a spectacle about it. I wanted to make a big deal about it and bring not just awareness about dark mental health, but say, hey, this happened, and if anyone's going through anything else, it's like, this is my story. And it's here for others, not as much for me, but it is healing for me as well. So I decided to make, obviously, an art show about it, and I wanted to do another one to tell you about the comeback story. And I believe it's the road to recovery and healing. So now the journey continues at the beginning of this year. And the year started strong. I was just mentally right. Everything felt good. I felt just ready to take on 2025. I was ready to say goodbye to 2024, and let's see what happens. I felt like I was flying high. I was feeling really good. And I knew I wanted to tell about the comeback story and tell you about the good side of mental health and not just the dark side to mental health. So my first 3-4 paintings were about being rebuilt. I felt like an engine being rebuilt, piece by piece. And I was just going with it. I just started painting abstract shapes and just seeing what happened. About halfway through this set, I painted something called the Vortex. And I feel like that is a place that it's like this hyperspace, hyperdrive place where you are connected to the universe. I call it the mothership, where anything you ask, like it just falls into place for you at that point in life, where things just fall into place, and you're connected with the universe, with people, and I just felt alignment. I felt in alignment with life, and like, okay, things are going to keep getting better. So this lasted for about a good 3-4 months, something like that. And it was a lot of good after a lot of bad. And it just felt good to feel good again and have some happiness. But with every story, there are surprises. And that's where painting 10 comes into play, and it's called Cracks. So I was questioning how long is this vortex going to happen? How long is the fuel going to last? Am I going to burn out? And in June, I felt mentally exhausted from all the mental work I was putting in, just trying to just come back to life, self, and to others. I kept applying techniques that I felt work, such as giving gratitude to whomever, taking attention off of myself, listening to motivational speakers that really helped me through mental blocks, let's call them. But I was burned out, and I felt like I was on a road that was icy, and I was just skidding right off of it, and I slowly fell into another depression, and things went black, and I knew at that point this is going to be a heavyweight fight, that I'm going to have to fight for this, fight for life if I really want it. And thankfully I was able to recognize where I was at. I didn't know how long it would last for, but I knew it was going to be a fight. During that depression, I came to a conclusion that depression is very selfish, and that it wants to own your mind. I know I built new armor, and last year, in front of a lot of people, I said in public that I'm now accountable to myself, and I really tried to hold myself to that. And no one's perfect. I know I'm not, but I was like, we're just going to keep trying, keep pushing, keep fighting. But I did find a new tactic, and I just accepted where I was at. And I said, fine. I got tired of wave after wave being hit by this, and I said, okay, fine. I'm depressed. I feel like crap. I feel like this. I'm not feeling how I want to feel, but I accept where I'm at. And that has been a big part of this year is acceptance. And I'm just going to let the storm ride out and see what happens, see how long it takes. So during that time, my demons showed up, and we came face to face with each other, and once again I knew I had to fight through it. I knew I couldn't just tuck tail and run. I've been in a fight or flight mode for a while, and I was like, I'm really tired of running, and I really want to fight. I built this new armor, I want to use it. And I felt like I was a captain of my own ship, yelling out, stay the course, stay the course. And in the middle of these storms, I knew I had to stay the course, and thankfully in mid-July, the depression lifted and I got through it. So after this mini war was over, I told myself depression's okay for a little bit. Toughness and grit are the key components to better mental health. Not just saying I want to feel good, but really toughing through it. I feel depression is a place to accept what is and recharge for a little bit. I use problem solving and critical thinking techniques to just think my way, fight my way through it, paint my way through it. And I just decided to not avoid the depression anymore. Knowing it was okay to feel down and low, and just like I said, just accept that. It quenched my demons. It just made them just go away. After using the tactics of acceptance, being thankful, the goodness in life, rather than just staying in the darkness, it really quenched those demons. And it was then I felt that, and I still feel this, that depression, sadness, aloneness, those are my demons, but they cannot be present when confidence is there. They cannot be. And depression and confidence are two dogs fighting for like the power of your mind, or my mind. And I have always looked at it to where it's like I have a choice. It's like I can give into this, or fight and give into the better side of mental health. The hard part is not to stay in the darkness and not to stay in the dark caverns, because there's always creepy critters just wandering around trying to keep me there. But at least at this point, it's like I know who they are. I know who I'm fighting against and what I'm fighting against, which is an incredible tactic. And this is the fight for better mental health. So by August, I took inventory of my life, and mentally I took inventory, and I said, okay, my first 3 months were pretty good. My second quarter felt like crap. So I said, okay, I'm either going to have a good rest of the year or a bad rest of the year. And I said, you know what, I have 5 months to go. I'm going to have a great year. It's just going to be great no matter what. And I call these future lies to where I might be lying to myself, but it's like eventually I'm going to believe that, yeah, they're going to be a great 5 months, because it's going to make them a great 5 months. And still going through it, but still got a couple months to go, and just still making it a great rest of the year. In contrast to the dark times, to where it was just loneliness, sadness, and just didn't care. So I found that the chore is to stay in the fight, like a boxer going through 12 rounds. And it makes sense why my last painting is titled Fight. Sorry, guys. And it's very different from my other paintings, where they're a little bit more abstract. And this is a bit of how I've illustrated in the past, just warrior spirit fighting its demons. So to conclude, I'm thankful for my destruction, but I'm not exactly happy about it. I'm 50-50 because I feel like that being torn down, then being rebuilt is a bitter yet better path for me. I feel stronger for the better going through this, and it's taken years to accept that. And once again, acceptance is the better path to better mental health. I know I still have mountains to climb, doors to be unlocked, walls to break down, and this is the fight. And I feel like that the last painting reflects the continuation of the next story. And I always tell myself to just build on past victories. And I know that darkness and depression linger, but it doesn't rule. And they're around, but they don't rule. And they'll go away someday. And as long as I accept that and know that, okay, they're there, I know where they're at, but we can get through this, is kind of like the live to fight another day. Just keep fighting, keep fighting. And that's what the last thing I'll say is keep fighting the good fight. There are cracks in the road. Keep fighting the good fight. Believe in the fight. Believe in yourself. And know this is the comeback year. So thank you, and good night.
Let's hear it for Steve, guys. So
God bless you, Stephen.
thanks, Steve. That's definitely not an easy thing to come up here and put your stuff out there like that. So, you know, I commend you for that. It takes a lot of courage to do something like this, and I just hope that it can be an example again to everybody else that, like, if you're going through it, you know, there's ways around it, and there's, you know, and as long as you're here with us, Steve, you got people to help you in that fight. So I want you to know that as well. Everybody, we appreciate you coming out. Feel free to hang around, have some drinks. We got food. You're welcome to hang out as late as you want. Thanks, everyone.
There's a reason I remember it well. I was slipping and sliding, drinking and driving, bringing me closer to hell. And the devil sat in the passenger side of DeLorean's automobile. He said, hey, Frilly, let's not be silly, there's a life out there to steal.